What's up, guys? Do you like what I did with my hands? Pretty cool, right? I know. Anyways, welcome to the Product of the Week Club, where every single week we break down products, ads, and stores that are successful. We break down why they're working, what they could improve, and then we would launch ads for these products as well and show you guys how we would launch the ads. Who are we? Devin, Zander, and Matt Schmidt. Done over $50 million in sales across a few stores in the past 10 years, still doing this every single day. And Matt's the real expert here. I'm just his hype man. What's up, Matt?
What's happening? Yeah, you're far better at the hype than I am. So that's why we work together, man. Yin and yang.
And so these products, we try to cover all kinds of products. We specialize in print on demand products. This week, we're covering a hoodie. And just so you guys know, before when I share the products here, I do all the research. I find the profitable products and stuff. And Matt has no idea what I'm sharing. So everything here is off the cuff. We want you guys to get those raw, visceral reactions to these businesses and what we would do to change them. And just to kind of show you, like, once you get the hang of it, dude, you get really good at it. Now, make sure that if you're watching this on YouTube, you subscribe and leave a comment. Also, there's a link below this video where you can sign up for the Product of the Week Club so you get email and text notifications. Make sure you hit that up too. Let's get into today's product. Matt, get ready to have your mind blown. It's a hoodie. So this is really taking it back to like the old school days, back when you and I originally started. These are the kind of products that we would sell then. They still sell well. Nice little profession hoodie to mechanics. Before we get into it, I'll give you guys some idea of this data. This product was launched on October 14th, 2022. We've got 13,000 reactions, 800 comments, almost 10,000 shares. And this is still running. If we look at the newest comments here, wait, maybe it's not still running. I'm confused. It's okay. Well, maybe this isn't running anymore, but it ran for quite a while. Did I click on the right thing? No, it's most relevant. Okay. I was super confused. Yeah. It's like it's not working. Okay, whatever. Fairly certain though that I saw a lot of recent comments on here originally, but either way, this is something that ran for at least a few months. I'm pretty sure it's still running, but I just can't get this to work. Okay, here we go. So 9 hours ago, 13 hours ago, 18 hours ago, 18 hours ago. So this is still running since October. So safe to say it's going pretty well. Now, I don't know how much revenue this has generated, but I would say it's safe to say it's at least in the 5-figure range of revenue. So pretty good product. All that being said, Matt, first thoughts, let's get into it.
So it does take me back, right? It takes me back to the Teespring days. The first thing I thought about is how, do you remember back when it was just getting started and everyone was starting to blow up? We were just a small group of people that were doing this. And then we had the audacity back then to be like, man, I think the niche is saturated. It's like, it's such a saturated niche.
Yeah.
And you'll still see a lot of other people talk about that. We don't talk about that here because I don't believe in it. Yeah, but like, this is just so much proof, because this has literally probably been running a version of this has been running for better part of a decade now, and it's saturated back then. So it just made me think about how people used to say that, and I used to buy into it too, of course, because there was a lot of people that said that kind of stuff. But now I know the truth is that there's no, as long as you're willing to put it out there, you got something new, fresh angle on it. There's no such thing as competition. The only thing, or oversaturation. The only thing that the people that tell you that would say is like, it's saturated because they're just copying all the same shit that probably I'm doing, and they're behind that way. If you're just going to copy something,
4 months
try to do it. Yeah, if you're trying to do the exact same thing, of course, because people do get tired of looking at the same thing. Banner blindness is a real thing. That's why big brands will always refresh. And that's what you got to do with this. It's like a brand refresh, the new Coca-Cola look, or the new, look of a car, right? So that's what you got to do with this. And that's what this person did. I mean, the reactions speak for themselves. And it's probably it might not be running anymore, but the organic.
Oh, it's running still. Yeah. I mean, you're saying, I see. Yeah. It might not be running. This could be organic, but I mean, if we look just like within the past 24 hours, it's got a lot of engagement.
I mean,
it's like 15 comments in the last 24 hours.
10,000 shares. Good Lord. Yeah. I mean, it's reaching a lot of people, and we have ads like this where I turn them off and they still just generate sales because of the word of mouth is the best marketing there is, right? We're going deep into that kind of stuff and incubator and saying, this is what we want. This is the ideal situation. because those shares are somebody going and saying, this represents me. And a mechanic, the best part about professions like this is mechanics hang out with mechanics. So you put it, you put it on your wall, all your mechanic buddies see it, right? And so they probably buy a couple too. So it's great product.
The best thing too, I want to touch on two things you said there. First one being that people say niches are saturated. I want to reframe everyone who's watching this right now. We have all kinds of customers. We have ones that are just starting out, ones that are making, a couple $1,000s a month, all the way to customers who are in the multi-7-figure a year range. My advice to all of you guys is don't try to find an unsaturated niche. Okay. Things are unsaturated when they're not profitable because people realized, hey, there's no money to be made in this. So it looks like a nice big blue ocean, but the reality is it's just, there's no money to be made there. What's much better is to just go into established niches where people have already proven it's a proof of concept. It's working. It's out there. People are doing it, right? That's where you want to be, because it's much more difficult to start from scratch where no one else is doing anything. There's nobody else to model after. You have no idea what you're doing and you're just guessing. It's not a smart business model, at least in this type of industry. And now I will say, people will be like, oh, well, Devin, what about all those other, look, there are definitely tech companies and these like moonshot companies that are worth billions of dollars and they create their own markets. But statistically, especially with what we're doing, probably not going to happen. Okay. It's possible. I don't want to like kill your dreams or anything, but if you're selling products like this and you're trying to find a niche, like with print on demand t-shirts and stuff, it's just not going to happen. Your best bet, if you want to make a ton of money in print on demand, stuff like that, is if you only want to be in one niche, go into really big ones. Okay. Like the product we reviewed last week with the wall art, because that is huge. Or you have politics, you have like religion, you have these really huge ones that are just percentages of the population. There's multiple different religions you can target. There's multiple different political spectrums. Some are bigger than others. Some are crazier than others. But the second part I was going to say is, I actually can't remember. Shoot, what was your final words there, Matt? I'm so stupid. Sorry, guys.
I was about the word of mouth and organic, maybe.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Word of mouth, guys. Again, just reframing expectations. If your job is to come up with a design that's so good instead of a design that makes you money, but one that makes the customers happy, we can't state this enough. This is why dropshipping is trash, because people do not get word of mouth with dropshipping products. And when they do, it's typically really bad word of mouth. Okay. And that's not what you want. But when you get good word of mouth, it's like one person tells another, and then they tell a person. Now you have 3 people telling people about your products, which turns into 6, 12, 24, 48, like it compounds. Okay. When you do ads, it doesn't work that way. Word of mouth is the only thing that works that way. So again, just reframing those expectations. Matt, something cool here. I see they're following something very similar to CIC.
Yep. Yeah. You can tell it's somebody that, now I would say I would improve upon it for sure, but I'm not a huge fan of this limited edition hoodies thing. Again, something that makes me feel like this guy has been around, or either maybe you listened to a video that we created 10 years ago or something, but like nobody thinks it's a limited edition, man. Like it's a wasted line. I'd rather, and we can get, when we get into that piece, I'd rather dive into this. The one thing, the great part of this marketing, this is a great, fantastic design. I was reading it again. The approval isn't needed, right? Like I just had he does know what I do. And I talked to him about my business. I'm sorry if you end up listening to this. I just took my car in. We ended up talking about what we do, and he was interested in doing print on demand. But if you're listening to this, like I was expecting you to be a jerk, because that's kind of the thing, right? Like a mechanic, like you don't have like a friendly mechanic, and it's like he was a genuinely good guy, right? So it was a good experience for that reason. But this design leans into that expectation that I had, right? And that's what it's embracing it and saying, yeah, it's almost like a badge of honor or something like that. Like you're just like, yeah, I'm a mechanic. That's how we are. You know, it's like puffing the chest kind of thing, or puffing the back kind of thing. It's the back design. But that's why I think this worked so well. Is I do not play well with stupid people. It's like it's leaning in versus like, no, actually we're good people. And it's like, no, this is you know, I'm here doing my craft and you're stepping on my toes, not the other way around.
Yep. And that's the whole purpose of print on demand products too, is to invoke that feeling. Like when people read it, it should be something that they want to express in the world. What you're doing when you create print on demand products like this is you're channeling people's like thoughts and emotions, how they feel about themselves. You're like their self-identity. Okay. That's what you want to channel.
Yeah.
And then you put it on a shirt and people buy it because it's a way that they can express themselves. Again, selling products all about solving other people's problems. That is how you get rich. You solve other people's problems. What does this shirt do? Somebody wants to express themselves. They have to wear a hoodie. They're going to be cold eventually. Sometimes it gets cold. I know it's crazy, but they want a hoodie. And now you provide them with a hoodie that they like, that helps them express themselves, that they think's funny, that their friends probably think is funny. And because remember, mechanics hang out with other mechanics and they're like, ah, heck yeah, bro, that is funny, or whatever. I don't know. I don't really hang out with mechanics, to be honest, but we're channeling that. So you are solving an issue and you get paid for doing so. And then take it to the next level. Like, this is why it's so important to understand your niche. I mean, Matt and I, we have a process for it. It's called the 5W avatar. So it is 5. Okay. See, last week we were doing 4W, and that's why we were getting confused. Okay. But there's a reason why Matt can enter any niche, right, and succeed. I mean, it's been, let's see, like 4 or 5 different niches right now. And you enter each one and you succeed because you understand the avatar. And that's what this does, is it understands that customer avatar. The avatar is who the person is that's buying, like in attributes about them, where they hang out, what they're like, what kind of clothing they like to wear, what kind of books or podcasts or music, whatever they listen to, right? Like if I look at this, you know, and I thought mechanics listened to fucking Justin Bieber, would I design a shirt like this? No. But you understand that a mechanic is probably listening to like some 80s rock, 90s rock, like metal type stuff. They like the older stuff because mechanics are usually a little bit older. It's a trade you usually like in your late 20s, early 30s when you're doing that, and then older. And understanding that allows you to make designs that connect with the customer and make them want to buy. That is the secret. Okay. People always want like a hack in secret or whatever, right, Matt? And you and I talk shit about this all the time. Is like just that one hack that I need to succeed. Well, the reality is really there's no secrets that are just truths that people don't want to accept. I stole that from Alex Ramosi on that Andy Purcell episode. And that truth is that the secret is just understanding your customer and creating products that they'll like. And then by doing that, you get paid. Make that your first priority. Stop thinking about getting yourself paid today. Think, how can I make designs like this that connect with the customer? And then boom, the money is a side product to that. So Matt, let's get in the store. I think there's some good stuff on here for you to review. And a few things I want us to try to remember, like the zoom features that we have. So you have screen control if you want, but you also have annotations. You can annotate and draw on the screen, which I always thought was useful too. But anyways, I'll stop talking so you can take a look here. First thing is Christmas gift. That does lead me to believe that the ad might be off or they're seriously lazy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the first thing is obviously let's there's my annotation. Let's update it. You look like it's kind of a pain in the ass to do that kind of stuff too, right? Like if this was, this doesn't seem to be a Shopify store, it might be, but it kind of gives me a vibe on something else. Oh my God. So yeah. So anyway, the professions, this is great. I wanted to touch on something. You're thinking like, oh, I don't want to sell mechanic stuff. This is the simplest way of understanding like a mechanic or any kind of profession. They're great niches because people spend time. The 2 areas that I love going into, time and money, right? Pause. You spend a lot of time with your dog and you spend a lot of money on your dog. So that means it usually is tied to a passion, or otherwise people wouldn't do it, right? People love golf. I played golf yesterday, took 5 hours of my life and it costs a bunch of money to play, right? And so it's always, typically, if you get both of them, it's great. Professions, you're making money, so it's still tied up money in the other way, but it probably costs money to become a mechanic, right? You got to get the education. and then the time, you're just there every day. So I want to make it clear, like you prefer, it's the same thing, and you're just tying into kind of like their lingo or embracing that jerk thing that they were talking about before. And then that makes a great design. You can do that across any niche or really any hobby or profession or anything. And it's perfect for POD because you can test sayings like this. And then if it doesn't work, you just move on to the next one. The one thing I'm always confused with why people do this, but like this title thing, like, I don't know what's going on here. So clean it up, take some pride in your store and some, define your details and stuff like that. It might not stop anyone consciously, like they're not gonna be like, I saw this thing and now I don't want to buy from them, but subconsciously it's off-putting, and any kind of off-putting thing is a way for somebody to bounce off your website and not buy from you, obviously. Great job with it's a lot of SKUs, but I guess you got the availability to do it. The upper sizes, great. Love the
Do you think that they should take the coffee mug off here? I know that's something you're pretty big on, is leaving apparel as apparel and then putting the mug out separately.
I would, yeah, exactly. Like there's no real need for it. It leaves you vulnerable for somebody just to take the smaller one. And not maybe, they like the saying, they don't want the shirt, so they just leave. So you have a possibility of decreasing your margin here quite a bit. And certainly maybe your AOV as well. I would use it as we do it in Avatar with, the search or the Avatar, our theme has a recommended products, things like that. Be good. Your site is a little, yeah, there you go. So it'll be down there. Go back up to the top real quick. Healthcare, maintenance, like I would build out your navigation a little bit too. It's good that you have like the niches, but like let's go into like apparel. Let's find mugs and drinkware and go a little bit deeper. And then I don't like that dots at all, right?
Yeah, the dot. This is like just
I literally
really bad to
see
be
that
honest.
so until you went over it. But the guaranteed, that's big. This day and age, by the way, free tip, lean into risk reversal type stuff. We do this big inside an incubator with two of our students.
Made in America,
risk
reversal.
What's that?
I said made in America or an American company, just like they have here, and then risk reversal. It's like, this is what American buyers want right now.
Yeah.
Especially the people who are buying this product.
Exactly. If I'm cost conscious, the economy's on, wavering and stuff like that, you want to separate yourself from the competition. You use these risk reversal things and saying the money back guarantee, the fast delivery, quality, satisfaction, work. No, look, I think we talked about it last week, right? Like, not everyone's afraid of having a guarantee because I'm like, I don't want to deal with it if it's wrong. It's like, well, first of all, that's the wrong way to think about it, right? You want to take care of your customer because that word of mouth is going to mean something. If they get a bad product, get them a new product, because that's going to go above and beyond. And you might turn a one-time buyer into a second-time buyer, or he's going to tell his buddy about it and they might have a couple, more purchases. But overall, it's not bad. Looks like some work was done into this theme. Not a huge fan of showing all of the options like that on the left here, right here. Paradox of choice is a real deal. You give somebody too much stuff. We were talking about this inside of an incubator actually today. Too many options slows a person, it like overwhelms somebody, and again they bounce. So you want to streamline that as much as possible. And it's weird, right? Like you want a more in-depth navigation, so it's easier for them to get there. So even a little bit more options, but on the product page, when they're concentrating, you almost want less so that you streamline to the purchase. So you got to understand. That's why we do a lot of work into understanding customer behavior when we build something like Avatar, our theme, because we know off of experience how to get somebody from A to Z as fast as possible. So we can keep rolling down. I mean, yeah, these things are great.
A few things I want to note on this too before we go down is the pricing, in my opinion, is pretty low. It's really hard to get good margins on ads if your pricing is this low. So I would really look at like $29.99, maybe even $34.99 for this. Mechanics make decent money too. It's kind of about understanding the niche. $34.99 is a good price. 41, this could be like $59.99. I mean, that's so much margin left on the table. It is unbelievable. And another thing too is there's kind of a bit of a disconnect here. So the fan page name is Mechanics Are Awesome, and then the website is Epic Professions. That's fine if you want to do it that way, but something that we've been trying to drill into your guys' head is that short-term versus long-term thinking. Short-term thinking, Mechanics Are Awesome, right? Long-term thinking, Epic Professions, because what you want to do is have that brand name that people can remember, that people can Google, people can search. So when you create this disconnect here, it's just taking away from that a little bit. Now, the Mechanics Are Awesome. This will be easier to get that initial attention in the newsfeed, but you can make a little bit of money now, or you can make a lot of money over a longer time horizon. And that is why might make sense to have something a little bit more aligned here. And then the other thing I just want to point out for you guys is this store is actually structured in the correct way. A lot of the times people will just make stores around mechanics, for instance, and instead these people went with professions. Now you could have, there's a bunch of different ways they could have done this. They went like pretty broad where they have all kinds of professions. If you want something where you align more and get like more brand connection, it might be better to do something just like blue collar professions instead of having healthcare and some other random stuff in here too. Just because the values and what people resonate with in these niches are a little bit different. But if you do blue collar professions, a lot of times it's going to be like you're hardworking Americans who's just trying to support their family. It's mostly men, right? And they share similar values. So it becomes very easy to talk with them, which allows you to build that brand affinity. People like you. They want to shop with you. They tell your friends about you versus a store that's just professions for everyone, right? So that's an idea. This is fine too. I just think it is going to make it a little bit more difficult if you go this really broad route and instead of focusing on blue collar professions. But they do have the structure right, which is it's a profession website. They they have sub niches, which are the professions, and then they have the full niche, which is professions. So, they didn't shoot themselves in the foot by going after too small of a market when you have a store that's about all different kinds of professions, and then you have a bunch of sub professions within it. That just makes it's really good. So, all right, keep going. I see a huge issue right here. I mean, you can call it out, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why that image is even there.
Yeah, these images do not resonate at all.
Yeah, I mean, with the campfire, like they're not even on topic. I've had, the more we look at this, the more I feel like this site was like cranked out of like a machine somehow. And then, like the weird naming of the product, and then it's almost like a generated site or something. But yeah, I mean, like, look, dude, I have a personal story about, I'm not going to get into the details of it, but the way you present and the way that you, if you start using real lifestyle mockups, is critical to the image, because you're putting it on to the person and saying, this is who's wearing this. And if they don't resonate with that, that doesn't look like a mechanic to me. If you were in the healthcare space, for sure, maybe that would have worked. But then, like, why not a healthcare hoodie? You gotta know that, like, this kind of stuff is what I was talking about, with the subconscious disconnect of like, this isn't for me. Like, that can go in the back of somebody's head, and then they're just gone, and they didn't even know, it didn't even resonate with them, or didn't realize it. But we had that personal story I was talking about, where somebody was using a lifestyle mockup that looked nothing like the core customer avatar, and the ads were plummeting. And this is a store doing millions a month, and they tanked it. And but before testing, they updated everything on the site too. And they were wondering why it wasn't working. And I actually had to call them and say, like, what are you doing? Like, what, this is not, this is not it. And like, that little bit of effort, instead of saying, oh, everybody else is using lifestyle mockups, let me use it. Take the effort of saying, does this represent the customer that I am targeting? And again, I can see the chick on the left and even the guy on the right saying, hey, that's a healthcare space, but like a mechanic, like a hardcore guy works with his hands, you're having a disconnect there. So take the effort, update the sites, be a little bit, specific. In Shopify, you could do page specific, and then master of the campfire doesn't even touch or resonate with that product anyway. So it's almost like you're doing a little bit more damage by trying this than you are helping it in any way, right?
Yeah, I agree fully. The language doesn't connect. The images definitely don't connect. It's like, remember, there's a reason we talk about the avatar stuff, is because in print on demand businesses, your stores are made off the avatar. The avatar is everything. And you don't want to see, Matt, this is exactly why our AI app for products is going to be fucking sick. But
oh yeah, a little sneak peek there.
You see a mechanic, you know, this guy, he's kind of like hairy, slightly chubby, maybe, or jacked, you know, he's like in his 30s, rough. He's got tattoos, got a beard. Like, this ain't it, man. This ain't it. Mechanics look like Navy SEALs. Okay.
Yeah.
Like slightly out of shape, Navy SEALs.
Like master of the campfire. Neither one of these people look like they could build a campfire. So like, I hate saying that kind of stuff, but it's so important. Like, I was just out at my good buddy of ours farm. Like, I work out every day. He's been working with his hands every day. There are situations where that man is far stronger than me and he doesn't go to the gym. And like, there's a mechanic has been just cranking shit with his hands for, you know, they are proud of, that's the whole point of it, is they're proud of their profession. So you got to lean into it. You got to embrace it. That looks like a mechanic, right? So
exactly.
Like, how
and
you
then they have
yourself.
this right below it. Oh my God. Like, it's so cringe.
Yeah. Guys, like it might seem like we're over, like beating a dead horse or something like that, but the minor details are what takes a okay store to a great store. And I've seen this over millions of dollars in sales of how much it matters how you represent. I mean, I'm wearing First Form all the time. I see myself in Andy, he's a St. Louis guy. But like before that, everybody knows I talk about it all the time. All I do is buy Brock stuff because I see myself like that. That's what that branding that you want to work on that. You're like, oh, I'm not Under Armour. I don't have to do that. You can do that at the micro level here and start with it and start somewhere. And you have to start here. But again, you're almost harming, you're doing the effort. Why not do it great? You're almost harming yourself by even attempting it in the wrong way. So if you're going to do it right. And I think you could say that about everything. And again, with the weird numbering system, I see this all the time. Your pricing is far too low, by the way. I would hope that in this day and age, that says that shirt's going to come pretty shitty on the other side of it. Devin called it out. Mechanics make good money. Professional, everybody you're targeting makes decent, you know, at least good money, right?
They're not broke.
People want quality. I'd rather buy one $30, $40 shirt that lasts a while than a $25 shirt that's going to fucking fall apart. Excuse my French, but that's the truth. And that's what a lot of people are saying these days too, right?
Yeah, blue collar, American job. They want made in America. They want good quality.
Yeah.
Because that is the association, right? You hear made in America, you think, oh, this is good. And dude, I can't get over this. This store is so funny. The products are good. I actually like the products. I think they're well done. But then you look at this, right? Like, this is the most masculine, manly shirt. Like, and then we just scroll down a little bit and it's this. This is just like what happened on your.
Yeah. It's exactly
like the complete opposite.
Yeah, a little different, but exactly
so opposite. The fact that this is here, I think you're right. Like, the more I look at this, the more I'm like, yeah, this is some sort of weird AI, or not even AI, but just like computer generated store. And
I think I know what this is. Yeah,
the product that made this.
It's there's a company out of San Francisco that makes stores like this. I forget the name. They've contacted me before.
Drops.
It's
some support.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Let's see what this is. We're going on a journey together, guys. I have no idea what this is. I've never heard of it. Okay.
So I'd like a done. Yeah. Anyway, so
seems like some sort of done for you service.
Yeah.
This is why you guys go with us, right? You get the done for you service, and they do everything wrong. Your brand only lasts a few months. You go with us. You learn to do it the right way. You learn to build a brand. You make millions of dollars year over year, or as long as you want to operate. I mean, there's a huge difference. Okay. Again, I mean, this is another thing we beat with the dead horse. I don't know about you. When I have a business, I want it to be successful for years. I want to make money for years. I want to be set for life. I don't want to be good for 3 months and then have to reinvent the wheel and stress out and panic because my sales have stopped and I don't know what to do. And should I do the, no, I want something that is consistent, makes me money year over year. And that's why we talk so much about brand, because that is how you do it. That is the secret. Boom. And, like, I know it might not be what you want to hear, because most people want to say like, oh, I just want to be rich overnight. I promise you, if you do it the right way, if you build a brand, it takes a little bit more work up front, but it is so much better for the rest of your life, because you do not have the stress having to start over. You don't have to have the stress of getting shitty reviews because you sold a crappy dropshipping product and everybody hated it. And then you're up at night stressing out because your store's getting shut. Like, it's not worth it. The short-term thinking is not worth it, because what happens when you think short-term is, in the long term, it doesn't pan out and it's very stressful. And it's like, dude, I wouldn't be able to deal with that stress. Like, not knowing if your store is going to be alive next month still. No. So good products like this store has a lot of potential. If they make changes, they have a lot of potential because the products are good. And as we could see from the ad, they had a product and they might have more products that really resonated. Let's see. Let us see.
People following.
They're still running ads. Yeah, like they're still running ads. So like with some changes, yeah, see, they are still running a lot of this mechanic stuff. And it seems like mechanics are there. Oh, obviously this is the mechanic fan page.
Yeah.
A lot of these ads just started in the past few days. So there's like a lot of potential here.
Yeah. Listen to what we're saying, because it will make more money if you listen to the things we're saying here.
I'll DM them this video. And you guys know, I want everyone to keep in mind, like, we're not talking shit about this page. In fact, the only reason we're reviewing it is because they did well. We're only reviewing products that do well. And then we want to give feedback on how they could improve. And the simplest thing here is just redoing the store. Like, these are good products. Change this. Just change this. Watch what happens. It's going to blow your mind. Literally, like, I know it's a little bit of work to get mock-ups for each product, but if you have products that are doing well, it's worth putting some time into them. Yeah. Hire a VA. There's tools. There's free tools like Place It. Okay. You go here, find a mock-up of somebody with tattoos or something. So like tattoo, like this, literally like this, you know? See these mock-ups? All you have to do is go here, you upload your design, and it will give you a mock-up of someone who is actually your target market. And then you just upload it. It'll take all of 5 to 10 minutes, and only do it on your front-end products that you're running ads to. Yep. If you're like nervous that it's going to take too much time, just do it on those front-end products. And I mean, the results, I don't know if I wonder if they have just an image of the design. I was going to upload it for them and check it out. Let's see.
That's back design too.
Let me see. Yeah, it is a back design. Let me just see if I can do this. I don't know if it's working.
Place It looks like it stepped it up.
All right, so this is going to look bad because I just screenshotted that image, but it's whatever. It seems that your computer is having issues. Talk to me that way, Place It. Don't talk to me that way, Place It. So obviously it looks kind of bad because I just screenshotted it, but like, this is a huge difference. Okay. Like, even this is infinitely better than what we have here right now. I mean, and this is like, oh my God, guys, come on. But yeah, like, do that on your front end products and watch as you make more money. It's crazy. Because these guys are onto something. Raise the prices, change the website, and you guys got something really, really good here. You're obviously talented, obviously doing something well. It's just a few minor tweaks. Think a little bit more long-term. Stop saying stuff like limited edition. Okay. And boom,
everything's like, limited.
you're good. Like, you're good. You guys are onto something here.
Yeah.
You just need those minor changes. A few other things is like no exit intent. I would like to see some pop-ups here to try to get the sale when people are trying to exit, collect phone number, email. Obviously you're offering coupons here for free shipping, I believe, free Dell for free delivery. I also think that this coupon code is a little difficult. Might be good to put like save or free ship or something, because
Yeah.
free Dell is weird. And you want it to be something people can remember and type out.
100% agree.
Yeah. And then raise your prices, 80% off on shipping on all orders over 80. I don't think this is a very good incentive. This is kind of confusing. Like,
What?
how much is shipping? 80% off shipping. I don't, what?
80% off
No, like,
shipping?
just give, yeah. Yeah. Just give free shipping on all over orders over 80. And
Yeah.
obviously, like, you guys can afford to do free shipping anyways. So I would even lower this to like 60, because 80 is a really weird number. People would have to buy like 2 hoodies, but with 60, if they buy a hoodie and a shirt, then boom, you're good. Or a hoodie and a mug, boom, you're good. But nobody wants to buy like 2 hoodies or 1 hoodie and 2 shirts. Like, it's 80 is a weird number for this kind of niche. Okay. Any last thoughts on the store, Matt, or do you want to head over to the ads?
Yeah. Just touching point on what Devin just said. I didn't see that announcement bar, but that's super weird. Drop that stuff, guys. When you're walking through your store, I hate to say it this way, but like I would have to sit here and like do the math, like 80% off my shipping for like, how much am I saving? And like, what does that even mean? Like, how much is, and the first question is exactly what Devin said is, well, how much is shipping? Like the 80% off of it. Like, are you charging me, you know, is that your margin that you're just like, and then it comes down to your cost. So it's just weird. And those kinds of things make it more difficult on your customer to purchase. And that's going to be hurting your conversion.
Don't make them do math.
Yeah. Don't make them do math. And as far as like the free shipping threshold, a good way to doing that is, what's your AOV over the last 30 days? Do it slightly above that, because the point of doing that is to compensate for the cost that you're going to have to absorb, right? So if you're going to absorb potentially, you know, shipping 2 items these days is, you know, $5-6 or something like that. Like 2 hoodies is going to be $10 more. You're going to need to be able to eat that in your cost. You're already super low on your pricing too. If you're giving away this 80% of your shipping, I can't imagine that you're doing very well on your profit margins here. So some work there, and confidence, guys, confidence, because had confidence in raising your prices, because that's what you need to do these days. Don't be scared to do that. And jewelry,
people
guys,
like it. People,
you don't have to do that.
It with quality.
Yeah, use the recommended pricing on like Shine On and Gear Bubble. Don't go, I'm not saying raise those prices, but like shirts and stuff like that, man, you guys got to have at least a decent margin. If you want to succeed with print on demand apparel, you got to sell at a good price and then have the best product to back it up. And that's what you're doing here. The design's great. People obviously resonate with the design. So have the confidence to stand behind it and charge a decent rate. You need to be making, you know, at least like we try to get a 70% margin. I mean, 30% of cost of goods. So yeah, I mean, we have a little bit of a scale advantage, right? But like, that's what we're going for. And we try, some things are harder. The 4XLs and 5XLs are really, really pricey. And I feel real bad, like making, but like, hopefully you get what I'm saying. Like, stand behind your product, make sure the confidence there, incentivize people for spending a little bit more, but don't be doing this weird math thing to make it happen. And then that free delivery, free Dell, it was weird. And those coupon codes, you got to remember, that's when they're going to see it, right? And then they're going to have to remember it, right? And so you don't want them going all the way back to your ad to figure it out, because they're just not going to go back forward. And so free ship is something to remember. Free Dell, and be like, what the hell does that even mean? And then you get all the way to the checkout, I'm like, what was that coupon? And then you're lost.
And then yeah, I mean, this shirt's $27.99 and this one's $24.99. One thing is I did want to check something, so I came back here to see if they were if this was the same listing. So they are running ads to this page still with the Christmas gift sticker here.
Oh, come on.
And I think, you know,
next Christmas,
to me, the big issue here is it's just a lot being lazy on a lot of little small things. But like we talked about last week, it's like the death by 1,000 cuts. one small thing here, one small thing there, one small thing here. They all add up. And then
Mhm.
before you know it, your conversions are way down. Like all these little things that in by themselves wouldn't be that big of a deal. When you do them all at once, it's like, okay, now it's starting to hurt. Now we're starting to feel it. We're starting to bleed out a little bit. And yes, it's just like a ton of small things that just
Yep.
are done a little lazily or improperly. All right, you ready to get in the ads?
Let's do it.
All
I haven't,
right,
haven't
passing the
done one
share
of
to
these
you, good
guys.
sir.
I haven't done one of these guys in a while. These professional.
Also, running hoodies on a front end product right now, guys. So a front end product is essentially the product you're running ads to. There's always going to be products on your store that you're not necessarily running ads to. People just stumble across them. The time of hoodies as front end products is basically at an end. It's no longer cold outside.
Yep.
So it's probably a good time to switch to t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, hats, and such. And by the way, I think that design or those designs probably be pretty good on a hat too.
Yeah. I mean, you could make it, you can make it work on a t-shirt for sure. But again, like get your margins in line or nothing's really going to work at scale. So, all right, let's do this now off the cuff. One thing's for sure. This is the one thing to always remember in apparel, unless it's very, very specific, is that apparel is a great gift, right? So one thing about something like this is like you give somebody a mechanic shirt and be like, you know, because you're like showing them that it's like seeing people, right? Like you're making them feel like they're appreciated in their profession that they spend so much time and hard effort on. So great gift. It's probably why it crushed on the Christmas sticker. So I just want to say that at the bat, because if I was just to target mechanics is a male dominated profession, right? So one way of approaching it is if I'm going to target mechanics, I'm going to do men. I know from being in this space for a little bit that some guys go straight into being a mechanic and from high school into being a mechanic. So you can do 18 and above. And then it's probably straightforward. I don't think we have a lot of interest left. I know they're going the way of the dodo here on Facebook. Let's see what we got here. Here's mechanic engineering. 40 million. That seems like a lot of mechanics.
Yeah, I wonder if that is like, to me, that says mechanical engineering. I wonder if, that one, auto maintenance, auto repair shop, auto mechanic, those all seem pretty good. I actually want to bring up a point too that you just said, Matt. So it's mostly men. I meant to say this earlier, but on the store with the variant, it said unisex, which is fine. I don't think it's that big of a deal. However, also, since this is a mostly male dominated niche, I also think it could be good to just put, t-shirt or men's shirt or something,
Yep. So you're going to have a tough time in this space. This is kind of where I was thinking. So there's a couple of ways to approach it when you're going into a space, because Facebook is getting rid of a lot of interest, right? If you're not aware of that, you are now. So they're eventually probably, I called this like a year ago or whatever, that they're not going to have any interest. And I really think that's coming probably in the next, say, 6 to 12 months. And they're like, well, how the hell do I target it with a really, really great product? And the understanding of, if I put this in front of the algorithm, Facebook knows who is a mechanic, and you have to have a really great product so the right people engage with it, and then it optimizes to those people. And Facebook knows, okay, that's who's they can understand and read your image, by the way, and it says mechanic. They know it says mechanic. So if you didn't know that kind of stuff, that it's been basically proven at this point. So they don't tell you that, but it is basically proven. So what you can, if you're going to go the interest route here, I like getting about as specific as I can in any niche. And this is pretty damn specific, right? The title, but it's only 50,000 people. So the next thing to do is to see what Facebook has left to suggest to you, right? So if you were to do this, you can start seeing car mechanic, vehicle mechanic, and they're all job titles, right? A general interest, automobile repair shop, diesel mechanic. There might not be a lot of here. Auto mechanic is a interest. So that's pretty darn close. Let's see how many people that gives me. Whoa. That's weird. I don't know what that is. Might even be, I'm on the way out there. So that's 29 million to 30 million auto mechanic vehicles. So again, I could do a quick Google search and probably say that that's way too many mechanics, right? But if it gets me in the right area, Facebook has been doing these things where it's called likes, well, I call it likes by association, right? Which means that there might be, say, 5 million mechanics. But then Facebook knows that those people are married or have friends or engage with people's posts or all these various reasons that people are associated with that interest because of that core audience that you're trying to reach, right? We proved this theory a long time ago when I used to sell in the nurse space, and I would engage with, I'd follow nurse pages, get ideas and stuff like that. And then when I quit my job, it started serving me ads for, hey, a nursing opportunity in Georgia. Like, so it thought that I was a nurse because of how I engaged with Facebook. And that's been only more true over time as Facebook's machine learning has gotten better and better. So not to bore you with what the details is, but that's how you have to understand. A lot of people don't understand that, like some of our peers out there don't understand that's how the algorithm works. And that's why these interests are like that. Now that I know that, I can get myself there and then rely on the product to push me towards the person, right? That's why we stress product so much. That's why we talk about it constantly inside of Incubator, which you guys should totally join too, because it's awesome. And we are teaching stuff that nobody else really understands because I'm in the weeds doing this every single day, right? So alongside you. So that would is pretty darn close. If I have a really great product, some of these interests out here, it's okay. I might even go broad with something like this, and then really, it depends. I really have to Google how many mechanics there are out there, but this is a good start. There's a good broad interest is what I would say. I don't know. What do you think, Devin? I think that's pretty good. I think this one's too vague. This might be like people that go to repair shops, but auto mechanic, that's pretty darn good.
I think it's pretty good. And again, it's broad, but then we also have to remember that there's like the parents, if their son's a mechanic, they're going to like it. The wife, right? The girlfriend, all that.
Yeah.
So it's just pretty big. And then you have people who are friends of the mechanic. So Facebook thinks they're interested because the friend is posting about all the mechanic shit. So it definitely makes sense to me. I think it's good. And again, it's a good gift, right? And this isn't just the kind of gift that a wife or a girlfriend would get too. It's also the thing that parents would get. And like, even if the son doesn't want it, my parents would get me like really stupid skateboarding shirts all the time. Like there was one with a guy skateboarding and it said, "I think I brained my damage." They got me that one when I was like 18 and I was like, "Oh yeah, cool. Thanks, stepmom."
Yeah.
So although the product sells, so we gotta understand that Facebook knows, like Matt was saying, it thought he was a nurse or whatever. And
Yeah.
it's just the same thing here, but the audience is pretty good. And then Facebook's AI, even though the audience is that massive, Facebook's really smart. So they're going to target the best people within that audience. We have to put our faith in Facebook, and we have to remember that the core thing is always the product. When people think it's the ads, most likely not the ads. There is a chance it's the ads. It's almost always the product itself, or some like issues on your store where your store is broken.
Yep. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. If I was going to go,
I just want to say, like, you don't underestimate the power of the product, guys. Like, so Matt and I were talking about how the store had all these tiny little mistakes on it. But if the product is so good that people just want it, none of that matters because the product is so good, people will buy it anyways. Product is key. Number one, utmost importance.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, and that's a great point. That's why you can see stores that have all those flaws and then still have awesome numbers apparent from the ads, right? So the point of what we say is you do it, you'll make more money. That's what a lot of guys get tripped up. I'll talk to people that don't want to make changes because they're like, well, I'm making money. It's like, well, you could make more money. How much money are you leaving on the table? Because you didn't make those changes, right? So it's just something to think about. So let's get down here. I was gonna say, if I was gonna, around Christmas time or something like that, if I was gonna speak directly to the person saying like, wouldn't this be great for the mechanic in your life? I would just flip this on right here, especially if this is a proven winner. So if I'm targeting the mechanic, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna get down to the ad level, and I'm gonna do limited edition. No, I'm not gonna do limited edition. What I'm gonna do here is, I like using these two, by the way. I don't know if we mentioned this, but these are working, again, machine learning. Let Facebook do its thing, feed it what it wants. I don't ever see music or 3D animation, but it's apparently working.
That's on, I have seen it before. It's on like Instagram stories and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't, yeah. So let's do our CIC, right? And we're gonna, of course, do shop now here. Yeah, I'm gonna reverse that. So I delete that. I'm like, all right, CIC. As long as I do that, and that's, by the way, exactly how I build my ads, because I type that out and then I remove it so that all my boxes are getting checked, and I'm not like, I'm going through the process as I do it. So you're just seeing kind of what I do. So the call to action, connect, incentivize, call to action. The call to action is right here. That actually literally says call to action. And then we want to make sure we're doing shop now. So the connect piece of this, if I understand the design and what it's saying to people, I think this is like, what do people call it? If you know, right? And I think that's how the kids say it these days. If you know, you know. I think that's kind of
Yes,
what yeah. I think that's kind of what we're going with here, right? The joke is that other mechanics are basically talking about this behind our back, right? That we're getting all together and they're, yeah, I'm an asshole because you're an idiot, right? And that's kind of what they're saying. And we're leaning into that, right? With this design. You can do this with the nurse and stuff like that too. I've seen nurse in a gentler tone, but similar kinds of designs on their side of things too, saying like, you know, all the inside jokes sort of thing. So what I would say here is it'd be like, someone had to say it like that. And then like maybe a laugh emoji or something like that, right? Reiterating that like, we're leaning into this design. We're proud, we're so proud of it, and we're so leaning into it. We're literally going to wear it on our back and walk around and joke about it when our other mechanic buddies when they see it, right? So you're connecting them. You're framing, pre-framing is what we talk about every week. We're pre-framing the design, saying, "Oh, what did someone have to say?" And then they're going to go and read it, and then they're going to have that, you know, you're damn right, or some kind of reaction like that. Because I'm using curse words because of mechanics, right? They're tough guys. So, we want to do this. This is what we want to do. We're reiterating, we're connecting, we're embracing the design, and then we're doing that and reiterating that with the ad copy itself. And then the incentivize, you had a decent one, but make it easy. Like, you know, you could do, I'd be careful giving yourself any more, unless you bump your prices, be careful giving any discounts away, but you could say, get 10% off. Get this microphone using code MEC 10 or something like that, like something that's easily rememberable. I have a store that has lots of different niches in it that I've worked with for a while. The easiest way, not only to connect with somebody here to get them to remember it, but also track like the usage, is if I had mechanics, I'd have mechanic 10, right? Or mech 10, nurse 10, you know, whatever, firefighter 10 or fighter 10, fire 10. That way I can see the usage of the collection of the coupon per profession. And it kind of gives me an extra level of tracking too, and seeing which group's taking what. So that's pretty easy. And then, you know, we can do some risk reversal here too, where we say the ships fast from the USA. That's going to be big for that niche. 100% money back guarantee. That's going to be big for anybody in the economy at the moment. You know, the worldwide economy, that is. 100% money back guarantee.
And you make more money from the guarantees than you lose in refunds, guys.
Yes.
Just remember that.
100%.
Don't be a pussy.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term, don't be a pussy. You're going to make more money while also creating happier customers. Booyah.
Yeah. And I was just thinking, what's one more here that we could do? I think what beneficial, these are also things to benefit the user, right? Or benefit you as the store. So I could say something like options available to choose from. So you did have, good amount of clothing options, good amount of colors, good amount of sizes. Not every store has that kind of stuff. So if you do have that capability, it's a good thing to lean into, in my opinion. Again, the paradox of choice comes in when the actual decision is being made. But if you're trying to intrigue somebody's like, I don't want a hoodie. They know now that there's maybe a shirt or some other option available for them to purchase. So we're not giving them options here. We're just stating that we do have a shopping experience that they can take part in, and then they can move into the streamlined purchase decision that we don't want too many choices at the moment of purchase. So that's how I would do it. And then again, this is a reiteration. We talk about this every week. I'm a mechanic. We want them remembering the title of this in case they have to come back and search it, or eventually once you guys get, like we tell our incubator students on, we just created a course on getting onto Google. And that's available for incubator students and how to do that. And then you need this kind of stuff reiterated. So when they go to Google to search for you, it's going to be there and you're going to pop up. And then right here, I would say again, 10% off using Mac and reiteration of the discount. Again, guy on the other end of this design, bump your prices and before you start giving out discounts. So that's it. I mean, it's fairly straightforward. The design does a lot of talking. This is like what CIC was made to do, right? It was made for, because the design is so good and that's what's going to cause the reactions. You don't need to double down on complex writing and things like that and a huge paragraph of ad copy. Get the point across, pre-frame it in the right way, incentivize the user, risk reversal, boom, and then go and run. Improve that store.
Hell yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up here because I got to go see my lawyer. Anyways, not about anything bad. I was involved in a hit and run. Someone hit my car and then they drove away and then they were arrested. Don't leave the scene. They actually had a warrant out for their arrest for domestic abuse, which, it all makes sense if you think about it. But guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if you want Matt and I to do this with you on your store, I mean, it's great. We're showing you how to do this, right? And you get to see the thought process that goes into multi-8 figures worth of results. But look, if you just want us to help you with this, if you want us to build your store, if you want us to do this with you on your store for a year where we work with you to scale your store to 6 figures or more in profit, look, all you got to do is go book a call with our team, skup.net/call. Pick a time to talk with us. It's free to get on a call. We'll see if it's a good fit. We'll see if we can help you out. And yeah, I would love to work with you. And I know Matt would too. So Matt, thank you, man. I think we're going to record another episode like today or tomorrow because we're in crunch mode since you and I are both going to be out of town, but pleasure as always. Any parting words you've got for the folks out there?
I'm just excited to be doing this kind of stuff. Apparel's been our bread and butter for a long time. And we're diving deeper into that inside of Incubator. I hope to see you guys in there because I feel like I'm going to get a whole new direction and some cool stuff's going to come down the way now that I can talk about the stuff that's been fueling the stores that we've been showing you guys for a long time. So I'm excited. Hope to see you there.
All right, guys. Peace out, everyone. And make sure to go to skup.net/call to book a call with our team and leave a comment and all the good stuff. Peace, Matt.
See ya.
See, that was a sweet little smile. Matt looked at the camera for a second. Smile. All right, peace, guys.